Greetings and welcome to Factorio. I'm Dgray, and today we continue our Let's Play of Krastorio 2. And as always, please remember to hit that like button, and if you're new to the channel, please remember to subscribe. It will help me out a lot. So with that out of the way, let's get on with today's episode. So last episode we just got our train things up and running, the buildings of those. So in today's episode, I kind of want to start to put down a few trains. We did plan it the way that we can maybe do this as an intersection, where the trains can go north and south, east and west, and maybe have some kind of unloading in this area. In between episodes, I have been practicing a bit, or at least looking at TSM, the Train Supply Manager mod, and hopefully I have somewhat of an idea how the mod works. Not quite sure I'm going to do it correct the first time. To be honest, I'm quite sure I won't do it correct the first time. And yeah, that is going to be fun. So let's get on with building. One thing I did as well in between episodes was trying to plan a rail grid network. And something I kind of got when I started this series was that remember to plan how your rail network will work when building your grids. And mine is not optimal, at least not as optimal as it was when I was playing, for example, my Industrial Revolution series, where I had this rail grid perfect in terms of expanding out. I have been planning a bit in between episodes just to get a somewhat of a rail grid down that's almost modular. It's as close as I can get it. So I'll just show you what I have planned in terms of how we will expand out the space. Firstly, we might want to move all of these things now. We kind of want things to go through this area. That means we'll have to get rid of this old setup. So I kind of want to clear up this one and just start to do a rail grid going this way. The first thing I want to try and get in is just coal, since that is getting rather low. And that could be our way of showing how it's gonna work. So firstly, let's just decommission all of this. You can all go away. And we might want to start using a bit of landfill as well. Yeah, let's remove all of this old things. Make sure we hopefully don't get too many things in our inventory. I don't want the stone. You can go to 0, please. There we are. Anything else we don't want to have, that can go away. So like that, we have a bit more of a clean inventory. Let's pick up this one as well. All of our damaged, all the symbols we don't really need anymore. And then we can start to landfill in some of this, so we have a nice setup. We'll also need to do some other things in the future, but we'll talk about that when I get to it. So firstly, let's just get in some landfill. Luckily we set up a very nice amount last episode. So just get 200. We have about almost 6k in storage. This is not filled up yet. It's as close as it can be. I think we set it to around 2k as what it'll hold. So hopefully this will start to buffer up as well soon. But for now, we can pretty much just landfill in this lake. We kind of need it gone. Oh, that's a bit annoying. To be honest, we can actually just skip this landfill right here if we wanted to and just have it on a hotbar. So there we are. Actually, that's better than having it being delivered to us, since that runs out once in a while. So that's going to cover this lake. That means we can expand out with these. And now some of the things that I have problems with my rail grid network is going to show itself. One of them, it doesn't line up with what's it called? Or power poles in between, so we'll have to remove those. Not the end of the world, but it is something we'll have to to work around. Should we take it? Yeah, I kind of want to take it like the crosshair with unloading, maybe here with all the items. I think that could be good. So firstly, we have to move these belts. To be honest, it shouldn't be that hard. We'll just take them down and over this way, waiting with unloading to this side. So what if we just do this? Please go this way. And jump. This is just temporary until we get things hooked up. Over here, please. And I'm just going to do a splitter in so we can empty out. Oh, then again, the robots can just kind of take it away. So we'll remove this part to here, making room for our new rail network. This can kind of go away. We can kind of just get it down here instead, or coal as well. So jump, skip you, and just split you off. And just do a nice easy expansion this way. And let's see. Here to here and in. So that's gonna be how we just realign these belts for now. We will of course move them all in the future. But right now I think this is good enough to keep things running while we set up our train network. So as I was saying, I did plan out a few things. I have 3 grids I'm going to use. I have a north-south one, and the only reason I have this is that instead of just a straight one, is that our roboports doesn't fit in with how our tracks are working. So this one fits north and south, no issues at all. We have an intersection, my Krastorio intersection one. That's going to work. If you look at, I can just show it in the blueprint. This one, I put this down in the top left, because this is the way it has to turn every time I use it. Otherwise, I'll just show you. Top left. Oh yeah, we have to move all of these as well. They won't work. Place you down. That means that this will be put down correctly. If I flip it anywhere else, this won't fit. This way will misalign it to like that, to fit it up with the roboports. And the other one doesn't work. So that's why I have to make sure this, because I can place one down this way, but that means they won't line up in the future. So that's why I put down a bit of concrete just to show that. So this is pretty much going to be our intersections, at least how I want it to look. Then we have a straight east-west that also have a top one, otherwise it will be misaligned. So that should be enough for us to connect up everything to a train network. I'm going to go with a right-hand drive system, where the train always goes on the right-hand drive straight ahead. And then we're going to use 1-2 trains. I could probably use bigger trains, but I kind of like the 1-2 trains. It gives a bit of activity on the track, and it makes it less likely to gridlock things. So that's what I'm going to try and go with for now. So firstly, let's just get rid of all these. They are not really needed. And get this one going this way, so we can start to hook things up. With this setup, it is also possible that we don't need the other ones, since the middle power poles will connect them up as needed. Just gonna have to remove all of these power poles that's in the way. There we are, and let's just connect you up. And I've made it so they will always overlap. That should be how I've made it, so that's hopefully what's gonna happen. Let's get rid of all of you. That's probably gonna cut the power up north. Let's see, is that far enough over? this might have to be... we probably need an intersection somewhere around here. And that is something we'll have to look at. Because I will need to get some loading. There's both crude oil here and there's stone. And there is coal up here. So I'm probably going to make this one to an intersection. That's going to make sure it can go north-south. So you can go away. And you can kind of get deconstructed as well. And we can get in an intersection. There we are. We'll then have a north-south going this way. Because I want to get it up to the coal that I want to be our first thing we take in. To right here. And then we can do some kind way to go in here, turn around and go out again. So they have a pickup location. So that is pretty much a rail network that is completely connected up. Not sure if it'll work, but since we're not doing a grid-based unloading, it should be fine. One thing I do want to set up though is that since we're not using mini loaders, what's it called, our loaders here doesn't work with trains, so we'll have to use stack inserters, and that is fine. I don't mind it, but we will need to add them to a mall to have them available for when we set up our stations. So let's go down here and grab a few things. Firstly, where's that? Let's just take you. You'll get us some stack inserters. So please make stack. I don't think we're in a situation where we need to make filter inserters. As anything else we should probably get. We could get substations. I think we're already making those. But the rest of the things we should have to be able to set up a little train station for our things. Might want to get a few warehouses. And I'll show you why in a second. It makes it very, very easy to balance the inputs. So let's get rid of some of all this junk that we don't need. And how big are those? They're not that big. They can wait. You can go away. We'll just have to spawn one right here for now. And I think that'll be good in terms of what we need. Let's get you removed, please. Get the coal away. Bricks. Let's set up pipes to 100 as well, right here, so we don't have things overlapping. Yeah, that means we have the things we need to start setting up some requester and supply stations. At least I hope I do. It's gonna be fun to see if I can even get it to work. Because it is a bit finicky. Or at least something I haven't really tried before. Anything else we need? Probably get some of the normal ones as well. And I think that will be good. So let's try and go up and set up a little coal outpost. That is what I want to try at the moment. Can we just take a train up there? We have to remember it needs fuel. That's the way it is. So we should be able to do this. Did it go in the correct place? It did. And then we can just do, please go to here. And then we have our first train track running in our map. Which is quite nice. So you can stop here. Oh, and one thing, while we're building this, we might as well get some science going. I keep forgetting to activate it, but it is quite important. Let's probably get some more bullet damage as well, since the biters are getting somewhat strong. Get some solar. Maybe some of these for the stack inserters now that we'll need them for the train stop. So let's just get that one done. That'll get some research flowing. Hopefully we'll have enough to support it. So now we need to figure out how we will make our train stop. I'm a bit annoyed that I'll probably have to do somewhere in here. But what if we line it up like this? We'll go right at the edge. So this way, we'll of course have to get it in on the side over here. So one more. That'll mean that we'll have it going in. That'll be fine. We can probably get it out quite easily again. But then now we have to make sure we do this correctly. So we have a nice setup. Is one place for loading enough? Because if we do this, I kind of want this one to take in the things we need. Probably get them all up here or down here, something like that. So where does it need for it to go out again? We'll just do one stop for this. You'll have to go out either this way, or it will always be that way. Right here. Let's just get some of these to make it look good. So that'll be an in and outpost. Now we just need these to go somewhere where they can connect up. I don't need a lot of room, but I just want some room so we can fit in our train. And let's see if this will be enough for us to fit in a train stop. It's not going to be a supply, it's not going to be a requester. I think it's going to be a normal train stop you use. Yeah, I think it's just going to be a normal train stop you use for what supplies the resources. And I can see it's not going to be big enough. Is it? Or can we just barely fit in what we need here in terms of trains? I think we might be able to. I'll just do a little test. So we'll need to do it like this, and we'll need it on the opposite side as well. And that's not going to be good. We want it further in. Might just want to move this one to make it a bit easier to do. So please get all of you out. I want you to stop working. And then we need to make room for this. So this means we'll have to move it in a bit more. Let's see here, and you can go away. And we want you further in then. Can we get in right on the edge of this one? Because that will mean we have room on both sides. We'll just have to move this one a bit. Let's just get it unloaded quite quickly. We can just unload it all into our passive provider down here. Or at least just into provider 1. Because I kind of want it to get used. So you go in here, you can go out here as always. We'll just fill this one up with what we need. And we should probably get more to unload it if that will double unload, triple unload. Let's go to here and turn you. Please just empty all of this into the storage chest. That should empty this out in a few minutes. So how can we get this hooked up in a nice way? Because I want it off the main track. That is the main thing I want to do. So where is it? I was looking for these. We'll have to have you just splitting that one off. Probably one right here as well, just to separate the networks. And then we can let this one go down. Remove you first. That'll be fine, that'll be fine. How much room do you need for passive providers on both sides of a train track? We have one here. Will that be enough to fit in the inserters? It will. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. We'll have a train track going both ways. Have this on the opposite side as well. So this is pretty much the closest we can make it. As is. And then we'll just have this output to these two. As needed. Oh, actually it'll be 4, so probably a 4-lane balancer into these. So we mightn't even have to empty this one out. But we'll need to get some down here anyway, so it doesn't really matter that much. So how will this look? That will hook up there. This one will hook up right here. That is about the closest we can make it to the train track. And hopefully that will work. So train stop. Right here. We'll need to move these down so it line up correctly. Here and there. And then we'll do one more of these. There and there. That'll pretty much be our loading for trains. That means you'll have this one to output to all of these. Probably losing a 4-lane balancer will probably be the easiest way to do it. That means we'll move this a bit and do a 4-lane thing. So we have belts going into this one. Don't know if 1 will be enough. I think 1 will be enough. Do 1 here and 1 here. Going into 1 here. So this is the setup we want to try and go with. The same over here. Into that one. I'll just leave those off. Defense should be able to handle it. That means we remove all of that. So it means we remove you and get you into a better spot. This might be how we do the loading in the future. So that's why I'll keep it like this. Then we'll want you to go... Oh, is it 1 too close? No, it should be fine. We'll just get you right here on the side. Being the second one. And we'll just add in a 4-lane balancer. Let's just steal it from over here, since we have one that's already red. We want 4 outputs into this one, going into 4 outputs the other way. Can we get one somewhat in the middle? So how will this look as a setup? Because that means we can have you going this way. You can go that way. Have one going in this way just to make it look somewhat symmetrical. And we'll have the last one going this way. And in theory, we could use this as a blueprint for everything going forward. Because then we can just go into a cell with whatever resources we have, or the cell next to it, add this one onto it, and we can have trains going in and unloading, or loading, sorry. So you'll be coal outpost. Let's call outpost 1. I'm gonna be so excited to see how I'm gonna get this to work, because I haven't done that much fun things with this mod yet. But only 1 train can go here at a time. That is quite important, since we don't have buffering for, well, not buffering, but we don't have stacker size for more than 1. So hopefully we can get this to work in some good way. Yeah, I was looking for these, so probably request some. Train things. That one, and I'd like to have some those as well. And we'll upgrade all of you to stack inserters. They should all be in storage. Let's see how many do we have. Yeah, and here comes the rest of them. Perfect. Then we just need a bit of power. And that lights up so they actually get power from there. So that's actually somewhat good. Don't know if we should limit the storage in these. I don't think there's any need to. I think it's fine, we'll just empty this one out as fast as possible so we can move on and do things. And always have this full. So let's see, that's coal outpost 1. So that will work. That means we'll just have to add in a few things. We have to remember to give this one a bit as well. That'll just go out another side. So I will go out another side, or should we just prioritize that first? That is something we'll have to think about. Might have to move this in the future as well, but let's wait a bit before we do it. So how is a good way to we should probably line it up. Line it up right here. Can we get the room we need for the 4? Because if we do it down here, that should also be fine. Do it here. That means we'll have 5 out. We'll have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. With one of them going down south. Let's get all of these out the way. Right here. We'll go that way, and the 4th view will go just like this. So that'll be right here, and 4, and it'll be 1, 2, 3, 4 in this way. Don't know if this is actually needed now. This should balance itself in the output, but if it doesn't, this will at least make sure it does. So what if we do this as a setup? You will get coal force, you'll empty out this patch. How much is left? 2.2. So there we go. U60 can start working, and let's see how it works if it splits it out the way I want. In theory, we could do this to make sure that everything goes down south first. Oh. I want to do this. To be honest, I think it will work. Up priority to the right. That means we'll always get it down here first. And whatever is left is gonna go input priority from the right as well then. I don't know if that will work. I think this will make sure that we get most down south. Don't know if that's a good way to do it, but it's probably done a 5 to 5 balancer. But we'll try and leave it as this for now. That should start to split it out to these. Just building up coal. And of course these are logistics, because if needed, since they're this close, robots can go and get some coal from here. But we want to do it with trains. So this is the first one. Now we have to go back to our setup here and set up part 2 of this train network. I can see on the time that I should probably do that in the next episode. I think doing it in this one will make this an hour and a half long, and I don't really want to do that. So right now this is going. I think that is perfect. And then in the next episode, we'll go back here, set up an unloading spot, maybe just make the trains go in I kind of want to go in somewhere so I don't have to cross the lines, or at least make a supply station for each of the things. Maybe having coal and things supplied here as a buffer, and maybe some unloading over here, where they go in and just unload their cargo. Maybe just one unloading spot, what's it called? That's a common unloading spot, but an unloading spot that only requests if you're missing it in the network. So that's what I'm gonna try to do. So that'll be next episode. Hopefully you are enjoying this. Hopefully I did it correct. I'm not quite sure I did, but at least we have things flowing. Just gonna limit this a small amount. This is way too much. So please limit it to, let's do that as a limit. Oh, maybe a bit more. That is fine. That's gonna limit 2, 4, 6, 8, 10. That's gonna limit, what's that gonna be, 8,000 in each of them? Yeah, let's stay with that as a limit. 8,000 for now. 2, 4, 6, yeah, 8,000. That's 24 in all. Oh wait, 32 in all. So that should be able to fill trains at least a few times. So that's what we're going to go with for now. So thank you so much for watching, guys. I've been Dgray, and as always, if you enjoyed this, please give me a like and subscribe if you're new to the channel, and then I will see you in the next episode. Bye, guys.